My name's Janice B Gordon, as I've said, and I'm the problem solver. And what I wanted to talk to you about today is about failure. I don't know about you, I've failed, and I've learnt more from my failures than my successes. Has anyone else, feel like that? But the thing is, as a business consultant, I often meet business people that have failed in the past, that are about to fail, and that's why I've been called in. But also, the most important thing is that they think they're failures, and these are even chief executives. So, we all have these feelings. But then if most of us realise that we gain more from our failures, then you think, well, actually, why aren't we embracing this? Why aren't we embracing our failures? I don't know if any of you have been told in school, like, you talk too much, you won't get on in life. And actually then, as adults, we realise these are the things that actually create our successes. You become an actor or something, you perform, or you use your voice. So it's really important for us to really understand that our failings actually create our characters, our unique aspects, and we've got to embrace that. So I'd just like to give you an example of this. I'm going to talk to you about Anthony. Now, most people shortened his name to Tony. He was here 1 minute, gone the next. He never stood still for very long. If a job would take 3 days, Anthony always did it in 2. And I had a personal relationship with him, and I'd always say, why do you have to move so fast? And he'd say, I don't know, I just want to get it done. So he's always in a hurry. He told great stories. He always seemed to put a funny spin on life's challenges. And he had many challenges, some of his own making. And he used to really cut corners and create incredible opportunities out of them. Do you know people that kind of don't actually follow all of the rules, always take the shortcuts? And that's the type of character he was. Do you know anyone like that? Well, that certainly was Tony. And what I learnt from him is that his failings created his successes. It's really looking for those kind of narrow areas where you can find those opportunities. It's actually breaking the rules. That's where he got his successes from. So I really learnt a lot from him. Another example is when my sister got a phone call from the British Embassy saying, Miss Gordon, can you pay this hotel bill for Tony? And she said, well, Tony's in Leicester. Why is he in a hotel? He lives in Leicester. And the man on the phone said in a very stern voice, Miss Gordon, Mr. Gordon is in Portugal and doesn't have enough money to pay his bill. Tony went to Portugal to find manufacturers. He brought a consignment of clothing. He shipped it back to the UK, sold the lot, and made a small fortune, which isn't unusual. He was 17 years old at the time. We didn't know where he was. I actually don't think he knew where Portugal was until he looked it up. He certainly didn't speak Portuguese. But that's the type of character he was. From a very young age, he broke rules. So I learnt that from him. Not that you don't follow rules, but actually there are real opportunities in looking for the gaps, looking for the areas where other people don't go, and having really the courage to do that as well. I can't tell you how broken-hearted I am. Tony, my younger brother, died suddenly on the 22nd of November 2014. I'm totally devastated from it. But what I'm learning from him is that having the courage to really follow through, having the courage to, and I'm still, this is what failure looks like. Well, I'm struggling with this, because he was a real kind of light in the sea of kind of normalness, really. But I'm a business consultant, and as I said at the top, I really do meet a lot of people like Tony in business. Because if you're an entrepreneur, you've actually got to be one of those unique people that are willing to break the rules. But the thing that often limits us and it certainly limited Anthony, is that you feel a failure. You focus on those things. People in business, when I go into business, they talk about what they haven't got, what didn't work. And my job as a business consultant and mentor is actually look at what will happen and what you have got. That's what I focus on. That's why I called my business the problem solver. Entrepreneurs focus on the problem. I focus on the solution. That's what I do. I move you out of that space. You'll focus on what you haven't got, your failings. I focus on what you have got, the real opportunities. So what I would like you to do is have the courage to fail. Really embrace your failures, because these are where the opportunities are. Everyone else kind of going into the office every day, you know, doing what they do every day, they're not looking for those opportunities, whereas actually that's what you need to do. Face your fear and really embrace your failings. So I'd like you all today to join me in failing your way to success. Who's with me? Well done.